Oh my god, really? I'm playing this off my phone and someone just followed me on Twitter and so my ringtone came through.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Fairy Fountain Podcast, episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about everything that happened in January and February, as well as Bowser's Fury's launch. And we will also be continuing our predictions into February, March, all that jazz. As always, we are on Spotify, Google Play, and all other podcast services. And I am Hylian Hero 98, joined by my lovely co-host Slime Boss. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. I cannot wait to talk about all the non-existent news that Nintendo gave us in the last
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. I mean, it was something, but one thing is that you're completely frozen.
Am I really?
Yeah.
But uh, Bowser's Fury. Have you had much time to play it?
Yes. So, obviously this month we had the trailer and the release, or well, this month being from the last time we recorded. And when I first saw the trailer, I was just I didn't really know what to think of it, but now actually playing it, or actually playing 3D World and watching like Solipones and Hero Volti play the game, because I haven't had a chance to actually play Bowser's Fury, but I love it a lot. Like obviously I prefer the linear level style. That's a really hot take, but I prefer it. That's not to say that Odyssey was bad, because I loved Odyssey, and obviously I'm a Galaxy guy. But 3D Land and 3D World, there's just something about it, like the nice, quick consumption like type deal, and the faster pace and the new dive roll. It just makes the game perfect. And then I had a little bit of time with online as well, and it seems it's not flawless, but it's better than Mario Maker 2. I can say that much.
I saw some videos going around on Twitter that it was just a mess, so I'm really glad to hear that.
I had a good time with it, and it was with a guy in Mexico, so it was pretty
Oh
good.
wow.
It was pretty good. Like there was a little bit of stuttering, but it wasn't like unplayable like Mario Maker is. Well, sometimes.
That's good.
Then Bowser's Fury mode, from what I've seen of it, like it literally, again, like a lot of people have said, it's a proof of concept. It's very short. It's short and sweet. It's really fun. It's engaging. The only few problems that I have is just waiting for the Fury Bowser to appear to get those certain shines. I like the sort of, what's the word, like balance of it. Like each area, there's 5 shines to look at, and sometimes there's a key shine, a Fury Luigi shine. There's like pretty much it's seamless across all of the different areas. And Bowser Bowser Jr., there's really no need for him to have, like, the one major issue I have with open world 3D Mario games is that the multiplayer is lacking, and that's why I love 3D World so much.
Yeah.
Galaxy is like the first game to introduce it, and like it's so easy just to implement even just 2 players, like have them explore, because the worlds are so big and open now compared to like Sunshine or Galaxy. You can basically just have 2 players running around and just collecting moons for each other. I mean, that just sounds like fun. Especially if it's online, then you can have 2 separate cameras, which is something that 3D World is now lacking because we have online. But just, and then having it be limited to some kind of side character like Cappy, Luma, or Bowser Jr. in this case, it's just so odd to me. But especially because it is packaged with 3D World, a pretty epic multiplayer game, it's just sort of off-putting. But so far, from what I've seen, very good. It'll tie me over into the next 3D Mario game.
Yeah, me and 3D World have a interesting history. I played it on Wii U. I didn't really get into it besides loving 3D Land. So it's like, okay, I don't get why I'm not loving this game, but I just wasn't. Mm-hmm. So I finished the main story, a little bit of the post-game stuff, but I didn't get to the end. There were still levels I didn't play.
Yeah.
Well, fast forward to now, the game's out. I'm halfway through like World 3 right now, and I'm having a great time. But I'm also worried that I'm going to have the same problem again.
Yeah.
because I'm excited to play it, but this is probably one of the few Wii U ports that is released that I'm just kind of mid on.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? So you're fine with three New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe? You're okay with that?
Honestly, hot take. I like New Super Mario Bros.
So
U
do
more
I.
than Mario Maker.
Well, more than Mario Maker. Excuse me.
Yes,
I'll fight
I
you to the death on that
never.
one, but that's save
Okay,
that for another time.
look,
Um,
I like the complete package. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. I'm definitely missing, official Nintendo related Mario levels 2D wise. So,
Yeah,
but in my personal opinion, they did such a great job with even just 3D World, the speed ups, the new moves, the ability to skip cutscenes, like, and the new UI is so crisp. Like, why couldn't they have done that for Galaxy? Like, even just the minimal amount of changes that they could have done for the 3D All Stars, they could have just done new UI or like a few new moves or something like that, and maybe like a small little extra mode like Bowser's Fury. If they would have done that, I feel like 3D All Stars would have been a lot more better received. Like, obviously, 3 Mario games in one, that's a lot. I would have paid for just Galaxy for $60. That's just me. But now that we have Bowser's Fury and looking in hindsight at these ports, especially New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, I'm just like, they could have tried so much harder, and it seems like they poured everything into 3D World, even though, like, except for like one thing being the Captain Toad stages in Captain Toad, because you can't play those anymore.
yeah.
But I feel like they just put so much into this game, like even more than Captain Toad and even more than New Soup, and it just pains me that they could have done this with the other games too.
Well, I don't know why they put so much effort into Bowser's Fury 3D World. I'm appreciative of it because this is, in my opinion, the best Wii U port because of it. But
I don't
look
know
at the
about.
sales of the 3D All Stars. Look at all the ports. They sell amazingly, better than
Yeah,
they do on Wii U multiple times over. They know they don't have to put a lot of effort into it, which
yeah,
is upsetting.
yeah. That's that's the thing. Like, Nintendo needs to just stop. I mean, they're a business; they have to, but they need to stop looking at sales and looking at just like fan like comments about it. Because look at like
Absolutely.
what content creators do. They're obviously most of the time they're not doing it for money, and if they are, like that, I don't know. It's not a really very good comparison, but video games are supposed to be a method of it's an art form. It's a creative type thing. Like when Mario Bros was first being created, they weren't worried about the money or what it would look like 10 years down the line. They're looking at it as what can we do with the NES? What can we do with Mario? And they created a masterpiece almost. I mean, obviously it's aged a little bit, but
Oh, yeah.
they need to look at video games as an art form. Like, obviously ports, I'm all for it because, like, I would never be able to play Xenoblade Chronicles. I would never be able to play Pikmin 3. I'm not going to buy
Yeah.
Pikmin 3 on Wii U. I have a Wii U, but I'm not going to do that. So, ports, good thing. Like, I'm never going to play Final Fantasy 7 on a PS1. I love that it's on Switch now. Like, ports are a good thing, but I feel like they need to start thinking creatively with their ideas rather than just saying, okay, another new Mario game. Whoop-de-doo. And that's
Yeah.
just unfortunate. I really hate that
Hopefully they
Nintendo's
get,
doing that.
yeah. Hopefully they get back there, but right now, especially with the ports, the Switch is passing 80 million units sold.
I
The
mean,
Wii U owners are such a vast minority that
the
they don't
last
have to do a
year,
lot of effort.
last year, you would have thought that the Switch. Well, I guess this sort of transitions to another piece of news. They released their like their stats or whatever. I
Yeah,
forgot what it's
the
called.
financials.
Yeah, the financials. The Switch sold like it passed. What did it pass? The 3DS. That's
It's past, yeah.
insane. Animal Crossing is pretty much approaching Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is truly saying something, not only for Switch games, because Mario Kart 8's been on top the whole time, but also for Animal Crossing. And that's good because these minor Nintendo platforms or IPs being Pikmin, Animal Crossing, are finally seeing the light that they deserve. Obviously, there's a few issues with Animal Crossing New Horizons, but this really shows to Nintendo that people care about their IPs and that they need to just put more time and effort into them. And then another thing
Yeah.
too with their financials is that Pokemon Sword and Shield pretty much passed the gold and silver, which is like insane because not only is it in its first year, it's also like it's a mediocre game. Like it's not the best game in the world, but I don't know. It's really interesting to see. But yeah, all in all, based on 3D World, good job. Just they need to do the same thing with every other port that they do.
I don't think they will. I think Bowser's Fury was a test for whether it be the next 3D Mario game, the one after that. It was a test for something coming up in the future. They thought, hey, this is cool. Let's add this on. This is the special, the big 35th anniversary surprise that's not a Mario collection.
Yeah.
Have fun.
So then
this game's going to sell 10 million anyway. Have fun.
What do you, if based on that, and I guess this is basically what we're going to be talking about today too, what are they going to do with Zelda then? Because obviously we've already predicted that they're going to have a collection, but I don't think that Breath of the Wild 2 really screams Zelda 35. Am I wrong in this assessment? Like Bowser's Fury, they really did a good job. Obviously, it's a port of a game, and they're experimenting and whatnot. But I feel like that really screamed 35, a Mario 35. I was satisfied with what they did this for their celebration. Obviously, a port is perfect because they did it with Mario. I mean, a collection. Sorry, they did it with Mario. It's literally a celebration of everything that came before. But I feel like a new game won't really fit that bill. Like obviously,
I get that.
Yeah, like obviously, if it does come out this year, cool. But it's just I don't know. That's just an idea I had.
Zelda anniversaries are interesting. Like they always have games come out with them. 2016 was Twilight Princess and
HD, right?
Hyrule Warriors Legends. So not in
Well, Hyrule Warriors, even
important.
though that's a new game, that like obviously it's a spinoff too, which helps a little bit. But it was literally
it wasn't the.
Oh, it was the 3DS port? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, the Wii U game came out in 2014.
Okay, because I was going to say, 30th. Like, that's literally a
Skyward
perfect
Sword,
anniversary game.
Skyward Sword was the 25th. Okay. Twilight Princess was the 20th. So they do have a history of launching big new games during anniversary years.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think this anniversary is going to be hey, we're making an effort like we did with Mario. Here's an eShop title that's going away end of the year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a collection of the Wii U remakes. That's going to be what they're going to hype up. And then at the end of the year, Breath of the Wild 2. See in 5 more years, Zelda.
Yeah. All right, hold on one second. I don't know why, but your camera keeps freezing.
That's weird, because I'm having...
Am I freezing?
No issues on my side. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you're all good.
All right. So yeah, I think we should move on from that.
Yeah. So, do we want to talk about just the announcements that we got during the month of January?
Yeah.
Well, besides the Bowser's Fury trailer, we also got a new Pokemon Snap trailer and a release date.
Yeah, so I'm
April 30th.
Yeah, again, this is my first foray into Pokemon Snap, so I'm not like super duper stoked as I would be for a mainline game, but I'm definitely gonna pick it up. It's very cool that we have a concrete date now, but at the same time, it makes me sad because now we have no new games. Like obviously, all the new games have release dates except for Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4. Like everything that we knew about from this point has a concrete date, and that's it. Now we have nothing. So,
yeah, it makes me wonder, are we really going to go from now all the way to the end of April with no Nintendo titles?
Yeah, I really hope not. I mean, it sounds like Pokemon is going to be doing something in the last week of February. Obviously, their concert, but it sounds like they're going to have a week full of updates. So, that sounds like good. That sounds
but that won't be a new game release or anything.
No, it's not going to release, but at least we'll have something to look at and talk about.
But I mean, 2.5 months potentially with nothing coming out from Nintendo. Yes, we'll have Crash 4. Yes, we'll have Monster Hunter. But those aren't Nintendo games.
I don't know. Did they even release something every month last year?
God, no.
Yeah.
But even still, it feels like the time between games last year and especially 2019 weren't that long.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like Nintendo's at the tail end of what they had that they were gonna bring in 2020, and I feel like E3 time, because they already confirmed it's gonna be digital. Hopefully, it doesn't get canceled again. But it sounds like everything's getting set up for obviously the Zelda and Pokemon this month, and then we'll have nothing for a couple months. And it sounds like E3 is going to be Nintendo's big comeback. And
I don't think Nintendo's going back to E3.
I don't think it's going to be at E3, but I think Nintendo's going to have some sort of summer presentation. Everything's sort of lining up.
That was the hope that I had last year, and I was burnt on that. I'm not getting back into that hope until either rumors come out or they announce it themselves.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, obviously, are we in agreement that a Smash character is going to come in March?
Yeah, I definitely think we're at least going to see it announced in March, but I think it's going to come out and release sometime towards middle and next month.
Yeah, I think that'll sort of tie us over until summer, I think, because we have Pokemon Snap by then. Hopefully we have some sort of Zelda something by then, and I think that should be able to tie us over for summer.
I think we're going to get a new game announced in either March or April, and I think it's going to come out May, June, right around the time E3 would be. Yeah, but I really think for the majority of this year, maybe the entire year, it's going to be a repeat of 2020 with Twitter reveal, partner directs.
Yeah. But speaking of partner directs, we still haven't seen that. I felt like it would have come back already. But
I thought so too. I'm unsure if they're just a 1 year thing for last year, they're done, or they're just waiting until March. I don't know.
Yeah. So it sounds like this one's going to be pretty much a shorter episode because we don't have that much to talk about, and our predictions really haven't changed that much. I thought that our predictions would change at least a little bit now that we sort of see.
Changed a good bit for the year, but not for the next couple months.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's see, what else is there to talk about? Crash 4. I knew it was going to happen. Thank God that it did. I am not a super big Crash guy, but I really wanted to try out Crash 4, and there's no way in hell I'm getting a PS5 right now. So thank you, Activision, for releasing this game.
I'm surprised it came out so quickly. I was expecting the full year wait.
Yeah, I don't really know the Crash reveal cycle, so I mean, props to it. I mean, I just found out through GVG that it's usually a year, but
well, with Insane Trilogy, I think it was I can't remember when it came out on PS4, but I think it was over a year.
And it was the same for Spyro Trilogy too.
Spyro, but the Crash racing game came out day and date, so I'm honestly unsure what their thought process is.
Yeah, but it kind of sounds like the gaming industry right now is sort of just in shambles. Sega's doing something right now. Activision is doing something right now. I think there's a couple things with Capcom. CD Projekt Red is always in hell right now.
They're just a dumpster fire
especially
right now.
Because they got hacked. So there's just a lot of there's rumblings going on, and they don't really know how to handle it.
I mean, look at PlayStation 5 right now. They've got one game end of April, and then Ratchet & Clank in June.
Oh yeah,
and they haven't had really anything since launch. So obviously they're having the first year drought. Microsoft has next to nothing.
Yeah, I heard a theory that
actually looking pretty busy in comparison.
I heard a theory that Halo being delayed is going to kill Xbox as a platform. They should have released that with the console.
I don't think it will, but I definitely don't think I don't think it's going to top Xbox One numbers, and those weren't even all that impressive in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, because but also another thing too. PlayStation and Xbox have different priorities and mindsets right now. Back in the days of Xbox One or Xbox 360, Microsoft and Sony had this sort of butting heads, and Nintendo's a rival too, but they're just childish, so we'll let them do their thing. They sort of belittled Nintendo, and obviously
I still think they do to a small degree.
Yeah, but
especially PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation especially, because again, like I was gonna say, Sony right now is sort of in that 2000s console war mindset when everyone else is sort of just yeah, Sony, yeah. and Xbox sort of has big plans for the future of gaming, while Nintendo's just like, obviously they're still doing their thing, but I don't really know what Nintendo's motives are right now, because it seems like they're either doing really well with game releases or they're in hot water with the fans. So it's one or the other. But Microsoft has just huge plans for the future of like streaming and things like that.
Exactly.
And Sony's still,
I think they're trying to get out of the console division. I really do.
And Sony's here just like trying to act like it's the 2000s still. I mean, they're still making good games. That's the thing. But like, they feel like they have competitors where there's no competitors.
They've got the cockiness of winning the last generation.
Yeah.
So they think they're all up there. They think they can do nothing wrong. I'm surprised the PS5 is selling as well as it is, because really they didn't mess anything up. So good for Sony on that one.
Yeah, and I don't think Xbox did either, but they didn't have like a very good launch lineup, which was their issue.
And that's the thing. Xbox already doesn't really have the best lineup of first parties or even second parties, so people don't care all that much.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nintendo and PlayStation are killing it.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just like Nintendo has like their Marios, their Zeldas. Like, they're never, ever going to come to another platform. And then you have Xbox, which is obviously focused on the future right now. But before, all they really had to their name was Halo. And, like, maybe something else that I'm not thinking about. But most of their stuff is now on other platforms. Or, like there's no reason to be there. And I think now they sort of accepted that fate, and they sort of made that their motive. But with Sony, Sony has their heavy hitters still. They still have Ratchet. They kind of lost Crash, which, you know, Crash was like their leading name and saying, screw you, Nintendo. And now he's on Nintendo platforms. So it's kind of weird there. But I feel like most of Sony's like original stuff is sort of left, like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper. Like, Ratchet and Clank getting a new game right now is kind of weird, because they're in like they were not doing very well, especially after the remake in the movie. So
I didn't like the remake game. I tried. I couldn't get into it.
But I don't know. We'll have to see. A lot like, usually around this time it's like fun to predict and do stuff, but like the only thing I ever see Twitter talking about is Smash, Pokemon, or Zelda right now because of their anniversaries. But like, I never hear anything else, because like everyone's pretty satisfied with their PS5s, and with Nintendo, we just don't know anymore. Like, it's completely unpredictable because of the pandemic.
It's a pretty weird time right now for Nintendo, because we have three big anniversaries if we count Metroid.
Yeah.
So all of those series could have games coming out. We're assuming Camelot has something, because we haven't seen them in 3 years. Who knows what Monolith is working on right now? It's like we have ideas of what could come and what couldn't. Like, even a month ago, I was fully expecting Bayonetta to come out towards the end of the year. No, it's changed. I mean,
they already announced that don't worry about Bayonetta 3 anymore, so it's just like, okay.
It's been over 3 years since they announced it. Why did they do that so early?
Yeah, even they are having some issues too, because we don't know where Bayonetta's. It sounds like they don't know where Bayonetta's at.
Yeah.
Then they already got rid of Astral Chain. Astral Chain is now in Nintendo's hands, and they're probably not going to make another game. Knowing Nintendo, they're not going to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, the only thing we can we can sort of predict based on like companies and stuff is like I don't really know. Everything's just sort of unknown.
For Nintendo, it feels like it is the most unpredictable year.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the lineups for Zelda, a Mario Sport, maybe something Metroid, all that Pokemon, all that jazz are coming out this year. We know roughly what to expect.
Yeah.
But they could throw us a curveball.
It's like, we know what's going to happen. It has to happen eventually, but when? It's a matter of when.
Exactly.
And everything else is just a surprise.
Are we getting something Zelda in the next week or so, or are we waiting till April, May, June? That's really
because I think with Mario's, it came out like a week before the actual day, and sound.
Yeah.
I hope Zelda happens next week because the week. Wait, hold on.
I hope so.
Let me check that one more time. Because if it
Zelda's
doesn't,
anniversary is the 21st, so it would be next Sunday.
Because obviously, is Pokemon a bigger franchise than Zelda?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
as much as it pains me to say it,
because if they do a thing during Pokemon Week, they're gonna have some problems in terms of like marketing
during Pokemon Week.
Yeah, so
if we get something Zelda, it's going to be this week.
Yeah,
Pokemon will be the week after, and
Pokemon is the week after. So
yeah,
at least we have that. At least Pokemon had something to say.
Yeah, it's possibly Zelda in the next week, and then it's definitely Pokemon the week after.
Yep. So anything else you want to talk about? Oh, the NES games. Nintendo. Where is Earthbound? Where? It's
Where
not.
Is the game I've heard of?
I want to play Earthbound Beginnings, but I can't because I don't want to buy it on Wii U. Just give it to me. It's easy.
I don't get why they're so difficult with the Mother series. I really don't. It is so easy. They know there's a cult following for it, but they don't want to give it to us.
Here's my problem right now is that it's not just about Earthbound either. It's about the whole idea of the NES Classic. Like, I think that we've been satisfied after the NES Online came out, or SNES Online came out. I think that we were good then. Having Donkey Kong Country trickle out every so often, that was great. But now we're basically getting nothing, and I feel like there's nothing else after Earthbound that Nintendo can really grab from other than those weird smaller games. So it's either
Mario RPG yet. So.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I don't think that's coming. I really don't think that's coming.
I hope it does because it was on NES Classic or SNES Classic, which is like really. So, and Square has everything to lose if they don't do it. So, they already pissed people off for not having Geno in Smash. Then, like, if they don't have anything else with NES, just give us another service. Like, I can't imagine like what goes on behind there. I just feel like they're just like, oh yeah, like. It's like they have like their list of priorities, right? And the top 3 are like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon. I guess, well, I don't think Pokemon would be on that list because that's like Pokemon Steel. But they have like their big heavy hitters on top, and then they have everything else underneath. And then there's like this one little note off to the side. Oh yeah, let's release NES games. And so all they have to do is push a button every so often. And I feel like it would just be so easy for them to do or another console. So I just kind of wonder what's holding them back. Obviously, with the current NES lineup and SNES lineup, whatever's left is based on license, and they just have to get the license from other people to push these games. But we have 2 or 3 other consoles, like leaving out GameCube and DS and beyond. We have 2, 3 other consoles, NES or N64, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance, like that have a lot of Nintendo titles on them. So it should be that easy, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes for them to hold off. Like, I
think they're scared to raise the price.
You think that they would have to?
I don't think they'd have to, but I think especially because Xbox is raising their subscription prices, I think that, well, they tried. But I really think that they're going to try. I really think they're going to be like, okay, here's either Game Boy Advance, or N64. By the way, we're bumping it up to $30 a year.
But I feel like in order for them to do that, because I have 100% feeling that they know that people don't like what they're offering right now. I mean, at least in terms of like genuine online. So, I mean, it sounds like they're clearing things up. Like Mario 3D World runs pretty good, but
yeah,
I feel like once they have that complete reform, which it sounds like they're doing, for their online, then they'll raise the price. They'll be like, hey, we got a new update to Nintendo Switch Online. The online runs a lot better now, and here you go, you get Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. That sounds like something that they would do.
I hope so, but I don't have that much faith in Nintendo.
Yeah.
They have not proven to me about their online that it is worth the investment.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to talk about?
Honestly, it's just really been that boring of a month that not really.
Yeah. I mean, at least we got to talk about Bowser's Fury. That's what I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, definitely look like a short show tonight.
there's one more thing that I want to say too. I thought that the Switch Pro was gonna come pretty soon, but I think we're gonna save that for the end of the year. I thought it was gonna be at the beginning,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
now with the Monster Hunter Switch and the Mario Switch, which by the way, there are now 3 red Joy-Con. I don't know if you saw that post, but why?
I did.
Now I'm an avid Joy-Con collector, and so now this pisses me off because one, I can't unless I go on eBay and get it like some ridiculous price. I have like 3 or 4 sort of deluxe Joy-Con that I'll never be able to get. One being the Pokemon Let's Go one, the Smash Bros one, and now this new red Mario one, which by the way, I still don't have the Mario Odyssey red because I have to order that from Japan. And then there's the Neon red, which you can get everywhere. But still, like, why? I don't get that. But otherwise, the Switch looks so cool. But that raises the question. I feel like Nintendo should be able to get a lot more creative with their designs because they're doing it with, or they did do it with the Switch Lite. So, I mean, they should be able to do it with the Switch too, but I feel like they have to have the black and then they can just do whatever they want with that, but they can't change the black. And I don't know why that they can't do that. Like the kickstand, it's still black. You can see, like, they basically took a regular black Switch and just painted over it with red. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they should be able to be more creative with this. Like what I really want them to do is to bring back the faceplates because they had them on the 3DS and they also had it on the Game Boy Micro. Both consoles in which didn't sell well because the new Nintendo 3DS was barely here in the US and it was overshadowed by the XL, and the Game Boy Micro, which we can just assume didn't happen because the DS was out at that point. So like, it's such a cool concept. Like, they could easily implement it on the Switch because it's flat. The whole thing is flat. It's easy.
Exactly.
I don't know. Like,
it's money they're just leaving on the table.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but they obviously have their reasons.
Customize their own Switches inside and outside. Like, again, with the themes.
They could easily just launch a website to just make your own customizable Switch. They'll ship it to you.
I mean, they have like, oh my god, if they had that, because they have the Xbox controller lab. What if they had one for the Switch? Oh my god, it would be so cool.
Right?
I mean, they have something like that on their website. Like, you can pick and choose, but they're just like, so if there's not a single Joy-Con of your color, you have to buy this other Joy-Con with 2 of them. That I'm just like, what's the point of this anyway? It's so stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so where are you at now since January happened, February is almost over? What's your hype level, like, in terms of just general about Nintendo? I think mine has lowered. Let's just say that.
I'm like at a 4 or a 5, honestly. Like, when Nintendo announces the things that I assume they're going to announce, it will go up.
Yeah.
But a couple days after 3D World, I'm not amazed. Pokemon Snap is going to be fun, but I don't expect it to have too much substance.
Yeah, now that 3D World is here and gone, my hype level was sort of like, it was stagnant when we talked, and then it went up right before 3D World, and now it's like it's down below what I had originally because, like, and I don't have anything to look at anymore. We're basically on a clean slate right now, except for Pokemon Snap. So
I went into the year hopeful for a direct. I went into the year hopeful for something at least in January to give us a clear path into the year. That didn't happen. Here we are, almost mid-February. Nothing has really happened. We got our Wii U port. It's a great Wii U port, but it's a Wii U port. And I just want this is, and it's hypocritical because I want the Zelda ports to come out. So I'm complaining about a port and then begging for ports.
Yeah.
But
so, well,
I want something.
For now, I would just like to say that I sort of, as the month went on, I sort of predicted, okay, we're gonna have like a chill conversation this time, but this time, I'm feeling that next time we're gonna have a good conversation. I just feel it. Like, something's gonna happen. Like, obviously, we already know Pokemon's happening, so whether or not
this time next
we're gonna have we're gonna have something
whether
to talk
it just
about.
be Pokemon, whether it be Zelda and Pokemon, or something else. Who knows what Nintendo will do?
Last time we were unsure. This time we're gonna have a better podcast than this time because this one was this one was just nothing. So
yeah, but
I just wish you were
Monthly
a lot
quota.
more excited about 3D World than a lot more excited about 3D World as I am. But
Yeah, but
you can only
it's
do.
gonna be fun to play through, but it's a game.
Now, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here real quick. What do you think about like? Do you like genuinely not have time to play games? Like, what do you do like when you're not at work?
I work 40 hours a week. I come home, I'll go to the gym. I have to clean. I cook dinner.
Okay.
At that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I have like an hour or so to game, or I want to watch some Netflix, or I want to read a book. I feel like I'm stretched so thin that I'm like, okay, game time. Plays for 45 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, let's do something else.
So, do you want to add like a new segment to the show? Because obviously, eventually, we'll have some months where there's just like nothing, and we'll have basically nothing to talk about. And in order for this to be a monthly series, we have to have something to talk about. So, if we don't, what if we add like a new segment where we like I don't know if we buy a new game or just play a new game and just talk about it because uh and it'll give us something to talk about too, and also it gives me an opportunity to go back and play games that I missed out on. Like say,
Not even joking, my laptop died.
oh, so what, you didn't hear me at all, did you?
No, I was like the last 35 seconds, I was just gone.
Yeah, luckily this won't be recorded, but or well, it
Yeah.
is being recorded, but I'm gonna cut it out. But what do you
Well,
think if
I
we
was
just
playing a dangerous game because whenever I realized that whenever my laptop was plugged in, it was doing the lagging thing. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave it
yeah,
unplugged. I didn't check the percentage.
yeah. So what do you think if we have like a new segment, because some months we'll have nothing to talk about, that we just talk about a game that we played recently, like
Okay.
um like right now I need to finish Link's Awakening. That it'll give me more motivation to finish it so that I can talk about it. I don't know if you played Link's Awakening at all.
Oh yeah,
Um
definitely.
and actually open Pikmin 3 for once maybe.
You better.
I haven't opened it, and I haven't even gone back to Breath of the Wild. I still can't climb the Tower of Time because I didn't know there was a ladder on the other side. So I literally spent
No,
like an hour trying to climb the front of it, like like
love that.
preserving stamina and stuff.
Mhm. No, I'd be down for that.
Okay, well we'll tinker with that. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back into it. So, is there anything else you would like to talk about? I feel like I asked this a billion times.
Well, did you play the Monster Hunter demo?
No, I'm not into Monster Hunter at all.
I want to get into it. I didn't have time for the demo, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna try playing it when it comes out. But
Yeah, and Monster Hunter's
we'll
never
see.
intrigued me. Like, what's the one on 3DS?
Which one? There was like a two or three, I want to say.
I don't remember which one it was, but they're
I
like
think
the only
there's
thing
like
that intrigued
four
me.
Ultimate Generations. I think those were the
Okay.
two.
The only one that intrigued me a little bit was I saw a trailer in a direct where they had like a bunch of costumes for the cat companion, but
Yeah, I think
that's
that's Generations.
that's about the extent of it. Everything else I was just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Monster Hunter.
Mhm.
But so so that's it. You want to close out?
Anticlimactic,
Yeah, I know.
but
Hopefully next
next
time
month.
we'll have a good conversation. I know it. This time I kind of had my feeling, but
Yeah, I think we were just expecting to have more hype post 3D World,
mhm.
something other than Pokemon Snap. Like I did assume Pokemon Snap was going to be in April. That was one of my
Yeah,
predictions.
yeah.
But we're a month and a half into the year. Nintendo has not had a reveal since Sephiroth at the Game Awards that's been
Yeah.
actually new. I
Other
think
than
morale is just low.
Goku Mario, but
Yeah, that was a reveal, but I'm like, we knew 3D World was coming. That's not a new game.
yeah.
It's a exciting new trailer, but that's like
Yeah,
we knew about that. We knew about Snap. What's next, Nintendo?
we need something new.
Yeah.
Like even Crash 4, the NES games, everything is a port right now. Everything. We have nothing new.
Persona 5 Strikers, that's
A
a
port.
year-old game.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a port, but it's a year-old game from Japan.
Yeah.
It's great that we're getting Persona. I wish we would get just normal Persona 5, but
And never.
great. We
It's
have a game
not gonna
coming out.
happen.
That. Yeah. But after March, it's really just Pokemon Snap and then the magical time where Breath of the Wild 2 actually comes out.
Just praying for Diamond and Pearl remake so I can finally play those games.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Whether it be end of this month or towards June, it's gonna be announced. It's coming.
All right, see you guys next time for when we talk about an hour long of Pokemon Alone.
Oh, can't wait. I'm such a big Pokemon guy.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna watch that stream, but just like see what they do. But I just thought it was so funny.
I watch Pokemon stuff out of curiosity more than actual interest, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to close out?
Alrighty. Thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully next month will actually be eventful.
Yeah.
Just a reminder that we are on Spotify, Google Play, and any others podcast streaming services. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.